cabin.
Hey friends, how's it going? Welcome back. Happy 2024. Yeah. Indeed. Well, we've got this our usual stuff here for the first video of 2024. We have a CTM number 1 cold blast. I know I've shared that before, but it's nice to have it on the bench burning. It's a beautiful lantern. It really is. With that, what do you think that is? Well, yeah, it looks like a barrel, but it's actually a keg. It's an old nail keg. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. There. Why is it on the bench? Why do I have an old nail keg? Interesting story, in fact. Yeah. Well, it came to me yesterday. Did I buy it? No, I didn't buy it. It was a gift. Actually, I think they feel that I did them the favor. No. They did me the favor. They do. So, what the story is, I went to work, and I usually stop in the shops there, say hi to the guys, and grab a cup of coffee, and a little brief conversation before going to my desk. Well, my buddy's in the shops. He's actually been over several times, and we've had fun evening conversations with a little cigar and whiskey action. It's very nice. It's good stuff. Good conversations. And, well, he had this sitting there on a bench. I noticed it. I'm like, whoa, that's an old nail keg. He's like, yeah, it is. I want it out of here. Get it out of here so I don't have to look at it anymore. I'm like, really? How old is it? Well, I don't know. No, doesn't matter to me. It's just an old keg. Well, shoot. They haven't made these in a long time. I mean, I'm not exactly sure when they stopped making nail kegs, or putting nails in these little kegs, but it had to be in the 1950s or 60s, or maybe a little earlier than that. Yeah. This was in good shape. Very good shape. I have another one. I found in an antique store in Bakersfield a number of years ago. But this one's in better shape, and this one's in real, it's pretty cool. So I'm just like, well, gee, that's really kind of neat. I like it. I took it home. They gave it to me. They says, get it out of here. It's just trash. We're going to throw it away. I'm like, no, don't do that. It's wood. It's got metal. It's old. It's my thing. Yeah. It's funny how at some point trash becomes collectible. It does. What do you mean trash becomes collectible? Well, when something gets old enough, it becomes interesting, especially since they don't make it like they used to. So now, nails just come in bags and boxes and cardboard boxes or whatever. They're not in kegs like this. Nobody puts things in kegs anymore. Are you kidding me? No, they've stopped doing that a long time ago. So you go to a hardware store and order so many kegs of nails for whatever project or whatever you're building, and that's how they came. Prior to World War II and probably soon after it. But I don't know the exact timeline when nail kegs stopped becoming a thing, but some people still find these things full of nails. Even as far back as the 19th century. Yeah. It has no lid because they just popped it off with a crowbar and opened it up and used all the nails. And the lid wasn't important. It's just several pieces of wood that were cut, very similar to the bottom of this. And they just take the nails off the top and then loosen it a little bit and pop it right out with a crowbar. And then you have a whole bunch of nails to use for your project. But anyways, it's kind of cool. I think it's neat, and it's going to look really cool out here in the garage because it'll go with my other one that I have. And that's a lot more distressed, and it's not as nice as condition. It's not nearly as intact. A lot of the little staples are coming out, and the bands are loosening up, and so I'm trying to keep it from falling apart. This one's a lot better shape, but the other one looks really cool because it is distressed and it's been in the weather and it looks really kind of rustic and fun. But they will both be complements out here in the Time Cave. Now, this is going to be a segue where I can start talking about some of the direction that I want the channel to go. Because I've already talked about this in my New Year's Eve video, which I hope you guys enjoyed. I enjoyed doing this New Year's Eve light-ups in honor of Bob. Yeah. So, what we're going to do? We got a lot of stuff. Got a lot. I know a fair amount of stuff about different types of collectibles. Might as well share it, right? I'm into old coffee tins, coffee pots, antique radios, World War II, antique appliances, old rustic crap, besides just lanterns. I mean, this really is a channel about history, in all intents and purposes. It's not exactly just talking about historical events or persons, but the items that shaped our world in the 18th, the 19th and 20th century. That would be the scope. 1800s through the 1900s. Yeah. So I think that will be what we're going to focus on. I have tins of different varieties. I have a lot of fun things. License plates, posters, civil defense stuff, a lot of stuff. Antique car related things. Yeah. I do a video just on the Dodge and talk about how many were made and how many they offered in different varieties and different body styles of 1940 Dodge automobiles. I can show, the brochure and talk about the different models they offered, whatever. Look at the stats and all the numbers that were produced between late 39 through early mid 40, So, yeah. Yeah. Got a lot of things to talk about. And since we're talking about old containers like this nail keg, I'm going to do a video next week about boxes. Oh, I know. We've had unboxing videos. Well, this will be a box video. That's right. But we're talking about crates, fruit crates, packing boxes, things like that would have either labels on them or stamping that makes it interesting. I have a few that I can share and give you a general idea of what they're worth, maybe value. I also have a cool toolbox that I'd like to share with you that's kind of handmade. It's actually pretty cool. But yeah, there's dynamite boxes and all that stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. But yeah, there's a lot of different kind of boxes. I have a few. I think I'll share them. I'll also do some about tins. Maybe even lunch pails. Maybe automotive type of tins and oil cans and stuff like that. I have a few things. I do have a few things to share. Talk about vintage camping. There really is no limit to what we can talk about and share on this channel, as long as it's old and antique and historic or interesting, right? Right. I think so. Of course, we'll always have something like that burning. We have to stay on brand to some degree. I think so. Yeah. But anyways, we're going to have a little conversation because some things have happened to me over the course of the last month. And they're fine. They're good things. Nothing bad. Yeah. But anyway, something really kind of miraculous happened to me on the 30th. Gee, Rob, it could be miraculous on the 30th of December. I'll tell you. Let's go back to 1998 for a moment. The scene: Pasadena Ballroom Dance Association in Pasadena, off of Catalina and Walnut. Was it Presbyterian Church or something like that? Anyways, that's going back 25 years. Oh, almost 26 years now. Well, I got into swing dancing back in '96. And having been exposed and feverishly involved in swing music, big band, jazz, whatever you want to call it, popular music of the 30s and 40s, I wanted to learn to swing dance. I wanted to learn how to move to the music that I found great comfort in, and I was very passionate about. When I learned about that variety of music, it really kind of took hold with me. It did. And it really kind of formed my life. There's something about it. And I really connected with it, which is interesting to say because I was born in 1978, just when a lot of those band leaders of that era were passing on. A lot of them were already gone by then. You know, Artie Shaw, Benny Goodman, they were still kicking about. Harry James, Les Brown. I think Ray Anthony's still holding on, but all of those guys are gone now. But anyway, I was on the scene. Once I got my driver's license, I was not home most weekends, so I'd go out and see these bands at these venues. And as I was saying, at Pasadena Dance Association, I went there and I started to make friends. Because I'll level with you. When I was a kid, my early teens, I was awkward. I was an artist. I sat and drew most of the time. Yeah. I liked old things. I didn't really have a whole lot of old things, but I started collecting things when I could, you know. But I drew a lot. I drew a lot. World War II aircraft, trains, you get it. Anyway. So one night I'm at Pasadena Ballroom Dance Association. I don't even remember the band. That's not important. But I met these two young ladies. I danced with them, and I thought they were cute, and I danced with them. Okay, they were wearing nice dresses, 1940s, 50s dresses. That's what a lot of people did in the 90s on the swing revival. Yeah, a lot of people dressed up. And I was dressed up as well. I was wearing gabardine slacks and a nice tie and a double-breasted jacket, you know. Yeah. So I danced with either of them, and they were both very charming. They're about my age. Maybe just a little bit younger. Still in tail end of high school. Yeah. You know, heck, I was already... 98. Let me think. I was 20 in 98. I think it was actually 97 now. I think it was 19 or 20. Right around there. Anyhow. Oh, that's right. It was. I think it was 97 because that's when James Cameron's Titanic came out, right? Let me check. Let's double check this. I want to be accurate. Check the Oracle. Oh, phone here. Yeah. Okay. What is this? 1997. 97. So it was 97. I take that back. It was 97. Yeah. So, I met him in 97. But we became friends because they live in Monrovia as well. Because I asked them, like, oh, where are you guys from? Oh, we live in Monrovia. I'm like, really? Happens to be my birthplace. Born and raised. Really? Oh, wow, okay. So we started talking, we exchanged each other's numbers, and I had 2 friends. And they were both adorable. Yeah. Now, one was named Angela. Yeah, about 5'6", 5'7". Nice gal. Dressed very well. Cute. Her friend Casey, a little shorter, blonde, braces, just adorable. 2 adorable girls, I was a tail end of my teens, 19 years old. Hey, look, these 2 are living in Monrovia and they're adorable. Let's go hang out. So we would go every Friday, every Saturday. I had a car. Yeah, they didn't. I was just that awesome. I know. Anyways, it wasn't a special car. It was just a Toyota Tercel, for crying out loud. But I had the keys, and it was a car that my brother and I shared, and gas was really cheap. It was really cheap then. Anyway, we would go to dances all over the place. They would seek out these new venues, and we'd go, the 3 of us, and we would dance and dance and dance and dance. It was great. And we'd dress all up in our vintage fashions, and it was great. Now, I would say that I did take a shine to Angela. And, well, we liked each other plenty. But there was a little bit of a roadblock. There was a religion conflict. She was Presbyterian, and I was Latter-day Saint. And anyone that knows those 2 sects, they don't get along very well because, well, there's a lot of things said about each other's religion, and that's what they do. It's like, oh, they're not right. We're the right church. You're not right. It's what it is. I'm not going to get in a religious debate, but that's the one thing that really kept her from dating me, or vice versa. And I didn't care if she was Presbyterian. She could have been. I was just like, she's cute, she's nice, I enjoy her company, doesn't matter. But it was very important to her. She felt that my religion wasn't a Christian religion. But anyhow, beside the fact, it's interesting that it really did bother her. But when you're young, you have ideals. You have these principles that you form, and you think that you're right, and that's fine. It's just what we do when we're young, and sometimes we don't ever change. That's fine. But we stayed friends. And it was hard because I really did like her. But taught me some lessons. But Casey, however, she was adorable. She was really fun, and we hung out sometimes, just the 2 of us. We'd go to Memories down in Anaheim and go dancing, and that was great. But this was about 1998, and she started getting ready. She graduated high school, and she got accepted to college. You bastard. Come on, strike. Yeah, piece of crap. Anyways, she got accepted to college. Yeah. I think APU. Can't remember. I know Angela went to APU. Anyway, so they went off to college, and I lost contact with them. We didn't keep in touch. And then in 2001, I served a mission for the Latter-day Saints. 2 years in Canada. I'll talk about that in another video. Yeah. As you can tell, I'm not really a practicing Latter-day Saint now that I have this. But I do have a faith, and I'm not going to go into it right now. But I do believe in God, and I believe is real. But more on that another time, I think. Anyhow, I lost touch with Casey and Angela. Now, back in 2004, 2005, I did see Angela. I ran into her at a tea parlor on Myrtle Avenue here in town. She was working at a vintage tea parlor. Yeah. That's right. And we had a little conversation, just said it was nice to see each other, and it was very pleasant. It was nice, you know. But anyways, I went on with my life, and I lost contact with her, and I never did see Casey again. Which was kind of sad, because she was a lot of fun to hang out with, and we had, you know, things in common, and I didn't have any romantic aspirations or feelings, but it was nice to have a friend like that. And, well, fast forward to just the 30th of December. That was just last weekend. I met Cicada Club for a New Year's Eve party. So Cicada Club in downtown LA is at the historic Oviatt building. And I was there with a group of friends. And we're outside talking, waiting for our car to be pulled up by the valet. Well, 3 women come out of the building, and they're exiting, and they're going towards the sidewalk, but they stop and they're standing around talking and stuff in the foyer. And I noticed them, and I turned my attention back to the group of friends I was with, and we were having a great time, having great talks and everything. It was fun. Well, I feel somebody is watching me, and yeah, like. I turn around and I see this blonde lady looking at me, and she's smiling, and she's looking at me like she's really intently looking at me. I'm like, what's this about? So I turn around and I smile and say hi. And she looks at me, she's like, Rob? I'm like, yeah, that's my name. I'm like, yes. She's like, do you recognize me? I'm like, should I? She's like, Monrovia, swing dancing, 90s. I'm like, huh. And she's like, it's Casey. I'm like, holy cow. Holy cow. What? Wow. Oh my, I'm like, holy mackerel. Yeah, okay, yeah, I do. Yeah. Okay, now I see it. Yeah. I'm like, I see you don't have the braces anymore. Because that's the last time I saw her. She had braces on. Anyways, I was like, wow, this is amazing. You know, so we just started talking and just like, wow, it's been, what, 26 years, 25, 26 years? Wow. That's incredible. You never know who you're going to meet from your past. And so we swapped information, and we found each other on Facebook and became friends right there. And, you know, she's married. She's got a nice husband and several kids. And she's works for, you know, Disney in Orlando. So it's like, wow, that's very cool, you know, very successful. And her parents still live here in town. And so she comes in ever so often every year to visit her family. And that's great. So that was really special to reconnect with somebody from my salad days, if you will. So that was really cool. That was special. And that was part of the whole New Year's magic, I guess. I had a really nice New Year's. And reconnecting with someone from my past from a long time ago, and realizing that they're still a wonderful person, is really sweet. And it's really nice to reconnect with somebody from my early swing dancing days. And yeah, there's nothing there. I mean, it's not possible. But yeah, it's really cool to have a friend. It's really good to have a friend like that. And who knows, maybe Angela will surface again and we'll hang out and talk about old times. Yeah. Getting to that point in our life, you know? Yeah, I can't believe it's been that long. Wow. But, you know, this year is going to be interesting. I have a good feeling about this year. I do. I learned a lot of things last year. I think we all did. I think we all went through a lot of challenges. It was one of those kind of years that everyone really didn't enjoy much. And I cruised up and down Colorado Boulevard with my local car club, and drove the Dodge and enjoyed that, cruising around. Met a lot of cool guys, kicked some tires, and everyone is on the same page. Everyone's on the same page that this year, 2023, was a real stinker. And yeah, I think everyone is kind of in the same boat, more or less. I'm sure some of you had a good year. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. I don't want to just generalize everyone's opinion about 2023, but I think a lot of us are all very glad to see it go. Not that the clock striking midnight on New Year's Eve is going to make everything just change on a dime and magically make things brand new and better. No, but it's definitely a frame of mind. It is a frame of mind. And if you think that it'll be better, it most likely will be. And I know I have some new relationships and friendships that I've been enjoying over the last part of the year. And here's to new beginnings. And I'm curious to see what happens with my life. And things are going to be different. So good. It's good, though. I'm excited. I really am. I have to say, I am very grateful for all of you subscribing and being part of this channel and sticking with me, even through some of the sappy videos. Because this one is a little on the sappy side. I hate to say it, but it is. So, with that being said, these matches are terrible. Gosh. What is the deal? Finally. Anyway, well, friends, we're gaining on 30 minutes. And no matter what we talk about, we will have a lantern burning, if possible. But we'll stay on brand to some degree. And I think I will be going through some more lanterns to move on to new owners and new collections. So with that being said, stay tuned. I'll be sharing some things that I probably will select and be letting go of in the very near future. So with that being said, it's nice. Happy New Year. May everyone out there enjoy 2024 to the fullest. Rekindle some old friendships and strengthen the ones you currently have. And that is my wish for you all this year. So, take it easy, and we'll see you again a week from tonight. All right. Bye-bye.